Okie dokie, let's throw a nice big plate. I'm just hitting it down onto the back to make sure it's nice and stuck before I start centering it. So with a really massive, this is only about 3 kilos, 2.5 maybe. Actually it is 2.5, I've measured it very carefully. I didn't wedge it very well before I put it on the wheel, so I'm going to really make sure I do it properly now. I keep using the slip off the bat, try and avoid it soaking up too much water. With the plate it's quite good to try and keep it as dry as possible. Right, so now I'm back to my wedged lozenge shape. So to open up the plate, I'm going to use this part of my hand to press down in the middle to give it that pressure, and this part of my hand, my left hand, is going to stop the edge of the clay folding over as I open it out, because I don't want it to do that because it might trap air. So I'm just pressing down in the middle, aiming for about 1 centimetre, maybe a little bit more than 1 centimetre in the middle, to give me enough clay in the base to trim a nice foot ring in later. Much later when it's dried. These monsters take ages to dry. Although this one's not too much of a monster. Let's talk nicely about it so it doesn't get his feelings hurt. Right, is that about 1 centimetre? I think so. So here's the depth that I'm after. So I'm going to work outwards from there, gradually just moving that excess clay out towards the rim, compressing that base. Don't want to go any wider on the, might take it out a little bit further. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to really make sure I compress. Give it as few excuses as possible to crack when it's drying or firing. And then I'm going to start pulling up the rim. Now, ideally, you want to give this is your chance to clean up the bat. Oh, the bat's gone way off centre, never mind. So, I'm now really digging my index finger, or this knuckle under here, to make sure I bring as much up off the foot as possible. And start to raise that rim. At the moment, all I'm doing is going upwards. I'm not thinking outwards at all. So what I need is to get this height on this rim. I don't want it to be too thin, because as you stretch it outwards, it thins again. You can see I'm just trying to get some of this meat out of this corner here. Some of it, not all, because it needs to support the, let's slow down the wheel a little bit, it needs to support the rim when the rim comes out. Maybe one more. So it is a kind of pull, kind of general claw pinch action to get this rim up. If you go like this, you can kind of feel the meat that you've still got down the bottom. You want it to be nice and even, which I think that one is. I'm quite happy with that. Now is also my first chance to clean up the rim and also really try and compress it. some stamina when it gets stretched out in a minute. I'm using this piece of old plastic bag that the clay comes in, which makes a very good chamois leather substitute. Now I'm going to use this firmer rib. Sometimes I use a wooden one, I don't know where the wooden one's gone, to really compress that base again, right up into the corner. And then I'm just going to go under my rim to clean that up before I start pulling the top part out. Now I'm going to use the flat side of this stiff rib just to work that down. Oh, there's something on there. Put a lovely groove in the rim, how lovely. There we go, it's gone. So I'm making sure I press down with this bit as well, because it's really common to have like a fat bit down there, which can lead to nasty cracks that you may not want. So I'm gently supporting the other side of it with my right hand, pressing it out like this. It's quite a nice shape. Now I'm going to use a softer rib just to smooth out. Everything's so messy. Clean that up a bit. There we go. Right, so this lovely soft rib will clean up the surface for me. Just do a bit here. I like quite a gentle transition from rim to base of the plate, but it's good to have a little, that gives you something to work with when you're mark making. Final go with the piece of plastic to sort out that rim. There you go, there's a nice big plate. So I'm going to let this firm up a little bit, then I'm going to decorate it with some slip, which I can draw into, and then when I fire it I can paint it.